It is known as the loneliest lighthouse in North America. So no matter where I look, it's all I see is the lake. It's the sound of the waves, it's the seagulls, they never go away. It's cold and it's damp because it never gets warm. It never gets warm in that place. So your very mattress is damp from the cold. Not unheard of to have winds in excess of hurricane force. And of course the tower would shake, the tower would scream and moan from the wind, and you had to be there. The floors at the base of that lighthouse were 7.5 feet thick. Capsule of rock, and you're just living in the middle of it. You're buried alive. And of course, we're not here with radio and television and all of the things we have today to distract us. You've got a deck of cards, and you're probably playing cribbage again and again and again. But it took somebody with a different type of personality, I think, to be a really good innkeeper. One of the keepers once remarked, if it weren't for the shame of it, I'd rather be in the state prison. There's another way to look at Stannard Rock, and I think that's from pure commitment, pure tenacity to get a job done. And you've got to build this thing 40-odd miles out in the middle of Lake Superior on this godforsaken reef that you're trying to protect shipping from hitting. But it's going to take the erection crew 5 years to build this lighthouse. Now that's after they built it already on shore at Skawnee, Michigan, about 35 miles away, to make sure it all fit together. Half of the time they went out to work, they couldn't work because the weather was too bad. The other half of the time, it seems, they had to spend that effort, that money, that skill to rebuild everything that the winter had taken down. Just pure serendipitously, to light it on July 4th of 1882 is really the capstone.
When you look at that structure out there, there's actually a permanent operational weather station out there as well. It's such a big open expanse of water, and people, unless they're in the region, do not really get how big Lake Superior is, right? But it's out there in the middle. It's one of the spots that it's accessible, that we can put sensors on, that is least affected by land. If you're making that investment, that makes it even more attractive for us to come out there and either look at the biology of that area more intently, and if you then can set up instruments that you can use, bring water samples back to out there, you're creating a situation that is going to be more amenable for science. And so you'd have the bandwidth, you'd have the power if you did these renovations. So if you build it, they will come, right? Being out there where it is and being biologically important, being physically important to commercial shipping, as a remote sensing, ground truthing location, verifying satellite remote sensing, many other experiments could evolve from that. And one that we've been kicking around for quite a while at that location, kind of put a little underwater garage out there. It's called a docking station for an autonomous underwater vehicle. And the vehicle would come in, park in that station, download its data. Let's say you're mapping the area. You would do this, you can do these acoustic maps of the area, bring that data back on a daily basis. Maybe you do it on a twice daily basis or something like that. That then gets transmitted back to us in real time. Commercial shipping can make decisions about, based on the real-time wave information. Scientists can make real-time decisions to inform their research further. And so an ROV then could go out and go over a larger spatial area than a single point sensor and give you a lot more valid scientific information about what's happening out there in that open area where we certainly don't have winter information. And this is something that could get us through that whole winter period when we don't have really many ecosystem observations out there.
So here we are 139 years later, and the lighthouse is still, by virtue of the science mission, with all of the data and gear it's now supporting, is leading the way into the next wave of technology. So you've got a very unique opportunity to place this technology on a very solid structure in the middle of the greatest, largest freshwater lake in the world. And that's remarkable. That makes that lighthouse more valuable than any other one in the Great Lakes, or frankly, any other one in the country.